I want to start today with a shared trauma.
Oh boy.
It's a scene that I guarantee everyone listening has lived through. You're in a meeting room or, a Zoom call these days,
Right.
and the vibe is good. People are brainstorming, there's energy, you're talking about a new product or a big campaign, and then someone clears their throat.
The dreaded throat clear. I know it well.
Exactly. And they say two words that are just a complete fire extinguisher for all enthusiasm. Data governance.
And the room just goes cold.
Instantaneously. You can literally see the light leave people's eyes. They start checking their watches.
Suddenly remember a very, very urgent email they need to send.
It's the eat your vegetables moment of the business world, isn't it?
It really is. And the tragedy is, everyone knows they need it on some level. They know data quality matters.
Of course.
But the moment you label it governance, it just sounds like bureaucracy. It sounds like someone's about to tell you no.
Right. It feels like homework.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you can have the most brilliant strategy in the world, but if your data is a complete swamp, you are going nowhere fast.
That's it. The problem isn't the work, it's the sales pitch.
It's a communication breakdown.
Completely. We're speaking of, a technical dialect to a business audience. We're talking about metadata and lineage.
And glossary.
And all they're hearing is slow, expensive, and frankly, boring.
So today, we're going to fix that. We're doing a deep dive into a specific narrative tool, a way to completely reframe this whole conversation. We're looking at what's called the supermarket checkout analogy.
And I want to be clear, this isn't just a cute story.
Right.
This is a weapon. If you are struggling to get budget or buy-in or even just basic cooperation, this analogy is how you flip the script.
The whole mission here is to sensitize the non-technical side of the house. We want to move them from, governance again, to, I get it. We literally can't function without this.
We need to create that aha moment.
Exactly. So let's set the stage. I want you to imagine we're leaving the office.
Okay.
And we're in a supermarket.
Okay.
5:30 p.m. on a Friday. Peak rush. Your cart is full. You just want to get home.
But this isn't a normal supermarket. If you look at the checkout lane,
Right.
something is missing.
There are no beeps.
Right. No scanners, no barcodes. This is the manual checkout scenario.
Okay, so paint the picture. I'm the cashier. You put a red, round piece of fruit on the belt.
The red round thing, that is the heart of the problem. Without a standard, I, the cashier, have to pick that thing up and make a judgment call.
What is this?
I have to look at it and ask, what is this? It's red. It's round.
Is it an apple?
Maybe, but what kind of apple? Is it a Gala, a Fuji, or, maybe the lighting's bad and it's actually a nectarine?
Or a very round tomato.
Or a red rubber ball that a kid just dropped in the bin? Who knows?
And the cashier is just operating on pure subjectivity.
They have to guess. And after they guess, they have to manually type in a description or look up a price.
Which takes forever.
It takes a massive amount of time. Think about the cognitive load on that poor person. They're not just processing, they are deciding for every single item.
And the line behind them is getting longer and longer, and people are getting angry.
Now let's bring that right back to the office, that queue of angry people. That's your reporting cycle.
And that cashier, that's your data analyst.
Oh, I feel this. I have been that cashier.
We all have. You open a spreadsheet, you look at a database, and you see a column that's just a mess.
A total mess. One person entered the client as Acme Corp. The next person typed Acme Inc.
Another just put Acme.
And someone, of course, misspelled it as Aints.
Right.
That is the red round thing. The employee entering that data is the cashier guessing at the fruit. They aren't trying to cause problems, they're just trying to get through their day.
But because there's no standard, no barcode, they're forced to subjectively describe what they see.
And the cost isn't just that it looks messy. The real cost is in the lookup phase.
I've heard this called the hidden factory.
That's a great term for it. The hidden factory is all the work you do just to fix the inputs before you can actually start your real job.
So if I have to spend 4 hours figuring out if Acme and Answer are the same company?
That's 4 hours you aren't spending on actual strategy. That's the delay at the checkout. That's the manager having to come over and void a transaction because someone charged for steak instead of a banana.
And that's the other part of it. The risk, the error rate.
For sure. In a manual checkout world, you're constantly charging the wrong prices. In the business world, that's a regulatory fine. It's shipping the wrong product.
It's emailing a customer who unsubscribed because your systems didn't recognize them as the same person.
It's total chaos.
Okay, but here's the pushback you always get in that meeting. An executive says, okay, I get it. It's slow. So let's buy a faster computer. Let's buy the new AI-powered CRM. Let's get the super scanner.
And this is the trap. This brings us right to the second part of this. The scanner versus the barcode.
Because in our analogy, the scanner is the technology,
Right.
the tool.
Yes. The scanner represents the platform. The expensive software license the CIO is so excited about. But here is the brutal, honest truth.
What's that?
The scanner is dumb.
It feels smart. It has lasers.
It's a very fast, very expensive paperweight if the product doesn't have a barcode on it. The scanner does not see the apple. It's not using computer vision to appreciate the beautiful sheen on the fruit. It reads a code.
And the barcode is.
It's governance, the standard.
So the barcode is just an agreement.
Precisely. The barcode only works because 6 months ago, a group of people sat in a really boring room and agreed that the number 4-11 means banana.
Not yellow fruit. Not long curvy thing.
Banana, period.
So that meeting where they decided 4-11 equals banana, that's the Data Governance Council.
That is the meeting everyone tries to skip. But without that boring meeting, the fancy laser scanner doesn't work.
And that is such a critical distinction for leadership because they love buying scanners.
Oh, they love it. Scanners are sexy. They're tangible. We bought Snowflake. We just implemented Salesforce.
But buying the scanner doesn't put barcodes on the apples.
Exactly. If you install a high-speed system, but your people are still manually typing red round thing into all the fields, you haven't solved the problem. You've just made the chaos faster.
You've automated the confusion.
And that's our first big lesson. Standards make data efficient to process. Efficiency comes from removing the thinking. When there's a barcode, the cashier doesn't have to wonder if it's a tomato. Beep. Done.
You're reducing the cognitive load to almost zero.
Which is what we want for our teams. We don't want them being creative with data entry. We want them to hit the button and know it's right every time.
Okay, so we've got the manual way is slow and risky. We've got the buying tech without standards is useless. But there's a third layer to this that I think really seals the deal. Because right now, every single company is obsessed with one thing.
Automation, AI, machine learning.
Everyone wants to fire the cashier. Or, to be more polite, reallocate the cashier. They want self-checkout.
The self-checkout is the holy grail. It's the ultimate efficient state, right? The customer processes their own transaction.
Or in data terms.
The system finds the insight without a human needing to intervene. Automated dashboards, real-time personalization, AI writing your marketing copy.
Okay, but let's play out the analogy. Imagine walking up to a self-checkout machine with a cart full of stuff that has no barcodes.
It's a nightmare. It is physically impossible.
You hold up the apple. The machine just stares at you. The screen says, please type in a description of your item.
And now you, the untrained customer, you're the one doing the manual data entry. The entire line just stops.
Or even worse, what if the machine guesses?
And this is where we get into the real danger zone with modern AI. If you feed an AI model a ton of data that has no barcodes, no clear definitions, no metadata, it's going to try its best to make sense of it. It's going to guess.
That's the hallucination we hear about.
That's exactly what it is. You know that error, unexpected item in bagging area?
That voice is the soundtrack to my anxiety.
But that sound, that is the sound of failed governance. That's the system saying, I expected a standard and I found something else.
So apply that to a business AI.
Well, you ask it to summarize your sales performance. It looks at your database. Half the records say Acme, half say AMPS. The dates are all in different formats.
So the AI writes a report saying you have 2 different mediocre clients.
Instead of one giant, amazing client. And based on that report, you make a strategic decision to fire them because you think they aren't profitable.
Oof, that's bad.
And that's the big takeaway. Automation only works with structured governance. You literally cannot have the cool futuristic stuff if you are still hand describing the red round things.
I think this is the most powerful part of the pitch.
Yeah.
Because executives often see governance as a blocker. They see the team as the no police.
Right. No, you can't add that field. No, you have to use this format. They see us as the people slowing down the checkout line to check IDs.
But this analogy completely flips it. We aren't the police. We are the people putting the barcodes on the products so that you can build the self-checkout.
We are the enablers of speed. If you want to move at the speed of AI, you need data that is machine-readable, not just human-readable, machine-readable.
Machines need barcodes. They can't do nuance.
So if your boss comes to you and says, We don't have time for governance. We need to launch this AI pilot next week, you say.
You're trying to build a self-checkout lane without any barcodes. It won't work. The machine will crash, or even worse, it will lie to you.
It's so compelling. It takes the conversation away from quality, which can sound a bit abstract, and moves it to capability.
You want the capability to automate,
Yeah.
then you have to pay the tax of governance.
Pay the tax now or pay a massive fine later.
So we have this analogy, this toolkit. How do we actually use it? I can't just walk into a board meeting and start juggling apples.
You might be surprised. But really, the key is to use it in what I call the friction moments.
The friction moments.
Yeah, when you're hitting that wall of resistance. When a stakeholder is complaining that filling out a standardized form is too hard or takes too long.
Why do I have to pick from this drop-down menu? Why can't I just type what I want? I hear that all the time.
That is the moment. You stop and you say, I know it feels faster to just type it in, but you're being the cashier right now. If you just type it, the next person has to guess what you meant. But if you use the drop down the barcode, the whole system just flows.
You're sensitizing them to the ripple effect of their actions.
Exactly. Most people aren't malicious with data. They're just myopic. They only see their one task. I just need to enter this one lead.
They don't see the analysts 3 weeks later crying over a pivot table that won't work.
Or the AI model 6 months from now hallucinating a lawsuit.
Right. The analogy widens their field of view. It makes them realize that standards aren't about control. They're about being a good citizen of the data ecosystem.
I also love the idea of using this in training, onboarding.
Day 1. Before you show them a data dictionary, show them a picture of a supermarket. Ask them, how does this store work so fast?
It sets the culture. In this company, we use barcodes.
In this company, we don't guess at the red round thing.
Now, we focus a lot on this one story, but the source material we looked at, the analogy toolkit, it implies there are more of these.
There are. And the reason you need a whole toolkit is that different analogies work for different people. The supermarket one is great for operations, for efficiency. But for, say, a legal team, you might need a totally different story.
But the principle is always the same.
You're translating the technical into the tangible.
That is the job. If you're a data governance professional, you are 50% technical architect and 50% salesperson.
I might argue it's more like 80% salesperson.
You might be right.
Yeah.
The tech is actually the easy part. The SQL queries are logical. They behave.
Humans
Humans are messy. Humans want to call the tomato an apple because it just feels right.
Oh, getting a group of humans to agree on the definition of customer is harder than negotiating world peace sometimes.
It really is. I've sat in those meetings. For marketing, a customer is anyone who ever clicked a link. For finance, it's someone who has paid an invoice.
And for sales, it's anyone who said maybe to a lunch meeting.
Exactly. And without governance, you have 3 different counts of customers in your report. The scanner beeps 3 times with 3 different prices.
And the CEO asks, so how many customers do we actually have? And nobody can give a straight answer.
That's the manual checkout chaos right there.
It's just startling how well this analogy holds up.
It does. It's sticky. Once you hear it, you can't unsee it. The next time you see a messy data entry field, you'll just think, there's a red round thing.
Okay, so let's bring this home for everyone listening. We've covered the pain of the manual checkout, the illusion of the scanner without the barcode, and the impossibility of self-checkout of AI without standards.
That's the whole arc.
If someone is listening to this right now, maybe on their commute, and they have a big meeting coming up where they need to make this case, what's the one thing they should focus on?
Focus on the why. Don't start by explaining how you're going to govern the data. They don't care about the software or the process maps.
Not at first.
Explain why the silence of the barcode makes the entire business move faster.
Speed. It always comes back to speed.
Speed and scalability. You cannot scale manual effort. You can only scale standards.
I like that. You can't scale manual effort. That's a bumper sticker.
It's the simple truth. If you want to grow 10x, you can't hire 10x the cashiers. You have to build a better system.
And for those who want to dive deeper, to get more of these analogies, there are resources.
Yes, the source material points to the DG Specialist website and their YouTube channel. It's worth building up your own library of these stories.
Because you never know which one is going to be the key that unlocks that budget approval.
Exactly right.
So I want to leave our listeners with a final thought, something to chew on. We talked about this AI revolution, how desperate every company is to be data-driven.
Everyone wants that badge, for sure.
But I want you, the listener, to look around your own organization tomorrow. Look at the data entry screens. Look at the spreadsheets being emailed back and forth.
And ask yourself the really provocative question.
If your organization is screaming for AI, if your leaders are pushing for automation, are you still trying to hand describe the red round thing in your databases?
And can you afford the wait time while the rest of the market is flying by in the fast lane?
That's the real question. The checkout line is moving. Make sure you're in the right one. Thanks for diving in with us.
Always a pleasure. Keep scanning.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.